Hello everyone, welcome to Prestige Castle Farm. My name is Innocent and today I'm quite excited with a very reputable farmer here in Akwamfon State when it comes to rabbitry. He has been in the business for the past 7 years, and it is actually a pleasure to visit his farm, to gain some insight from him about this rabbitry. So please stay tuned as there will be valuable information that we will share. So let's just move to him. Akwamfon, it's nice being in your farm. Thanks for inviting us. Definitely, we learn a lot from you. You've been in this industry for the past 7 years. So could you please just introduce yourself to us?
Okay, my name is Akwamfon Senfonofia. I'm a vet and I've been in this business, rabbit business, or should I say rabbitry. I've been doing rabbitry for the past 7 years, and I can say it's full of ups and downs, but the business is an well. So,
One of the, in fact, let me tell you how I came to know about him. It was actually we met through Facebook, and he posted some of his rabbit, and I can tell you they are outstanding. The rabbit really look very big. I'll show you some of the sample of his rabbit, and also drop his contact in case you are interested in patronizing him, and I can vouch for the quality of his rabbit. So tell us, how did you come to rabbitry and rabbit
okay,
business?
well, I'll say rabbits has been something I fell in love with as a kid,
Okay.
right from my primary school days. Let's say from my 2 I always pressure my mom to get me a rabbit. Then she started with this. There's this rabbit radio I had once.
Okay.
Yes. So from there, when I went to the university, I saw. Um, okay, there is this guy. Though he's a bit, he's my colleague.
Mm.
He graduated a long time ago. So I went to university one day and then I saw him breeding rabbits. His name is Dr. Egege.
Mm.
Yes, I can remember. So from there, I used my last feeding money to purchase 2 rabbits.
Are you serious?
Male and a female.
And that was while you were in the university?
Yeah, not really. I didn't actually start school then.
Okay.
So I had to purchase the rabbits and then
Mm.
I came back home and that my pocket money was gone.
Mm.
I was like, okay,
Mm.
and let me just breed them for fun. And
Yes.
so then from there I started learning about rabbits.
Mm.
And to this moment, I really profited a lot from rabbitry.
Okay.
So, that's
Would you say the business rabbitry? Would you say the business is profitable?
yes, I'll say the business is very much profitable if you know how to, for you to be profitable in a business, you need to be able to manage the business and have a lot of knowledge
Mm.
about such business.
Mm.
So that's the only way you can be profitable. Then also it's very important that you have a mentor. Yes,
Mm.
you have a mentor in the business or in whatever you do.
Yes.
You need a mentor.
Mm.
So uh,
Okay.
any,
No, that's good because but one of the things I observe about your rabbit is they are big. Like they, that brings me to one important point that people would always advise that it's good you start from a good breeding stock.
Yes.
How did you come about? I mean, is it that same breeding, the two that you bought in,
No,
or
no,
you?
no.
How did you get this stock that you have currently?
Okay, these dogs they gotten from a very reputable farmer. Well, before I got these dogs, I've been watching the farmer for 3 months
Okay.
consecutively to get more information how true or how false his informations are. So I used to be in a lot of rabbit groups, so I saw his consistency in the farming and the posting and the information he laid out in the groups and
Yes.
chats and whatever. So one day I then contacted him. I discovered that he's only in Akwamfon. He's a Yoruba man.
Okay.
So from there I got my stocks from him.
Yes.
That was after being into the business rabbitry for about a year, or is it a year or two? I can't really recall. Because I know the first stocks I bought,
Yes.
I bought it around July. I can recall July. Then the stock had to stay. It was 3 months. Had to stay till December. I couldn't even give birth. So it was late December. I wanted to kill those the female rabbits.
Yes.
My dad was don't kill it, just let it be till the new year. So it was at the date of the new year.
Yes.
That it gave birth. And then I had to buy another additional female Dutch rabbit.
Okay.
It was a good mother. I gave birth to about 8.
Okay.
So from there I started selling all the stores, and then I got to know about stage James, and I purchased the stocks from him.
Yes.
Then highlights were like the talk of the day. It's very rare before you even see a highlight.
Then.
Yes, in someone's farm. So the highlights were purchased from him because his own stocks he got them from Ocean State.
Okay.
I can't remember Ocean or Ogun State where he resides.
Okay.
So he brought the stocks down here. So I got the stocks from him. That was how I started having some good stocks. And at the same time, I discovered that there is a difference
Yes.
between a farmer and a breeder.
Okay.
A farmer is more interested in making, producing rabbits and more products. But meanwhile, a breeder will select the best stocks and then breed so that he can also get the best stocks out of the breeding or the rabbits.
Yes. Yes. And I also noticed like you've not been around. You usually not around probably because of your work and other stuff.
Yes.
But one thing that that I've seen is, when I look at your breeding stock, I mean your stock that you have, how were you able to still maintain them despite not being around?
Okay, I'm not being around town. I used to come down here every weekend or two
Okay.
to check on the farm. Then I had about 100 plus. I was trying to scale it to 500 and 1,000, and I want to have the biggest farm in the world. So then I had to make sure that the stocks were okay.
Okay.
So at the point I got some challenges, so I decided that it's not something I have to be coming in and coming out. Then the management was good, but since as a businessman, you need
Yes.
to be, as an entrepreneur, you need to be
in your business.
around your business.
Yes.
So the moment you are not around your business, it might be that no one has the same vision as you to continue the business. So the business started crumbling from there. And that was how
The situation is.
yes.
So
So from there I stopped breeding. Just the breeding had to reduce because anytime I was available, I'll cross as many, or I'll meet.
okay. Right on there.
I'll meet as many females as I can. Force mating.
Yes.
Just mating them naturally, just to make sure that I have stocks. And I used to have about, let me say, I can easily come back home and I'll have about 50 winners plus.
Yes.
And before you know it, I'll sell them off. That's how I continued the same. And then I kept some that I selected from birth
Yes.
to allow them grow. Because from birth, you can see that some rabbits are runs,
Yes.
and then some have the tendency or the potential to grow bigger.
Yes.
So I selected them from birth, and then I watched them grow.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to get my breeding store. And then
Let's
if
cut this up.
I noticed, if at any point I noticed that maybe the rabbits had had a gene I didn't like, I will not use it for breeding.
Yes.
I will avoid it. And then for the ones that had good genes, okay, maybe you might have a gene that you like, and then also another gene that is bad.
Yes.
I'll now combine and then use another male for the offspring.
For the offspring.
Yes. So a lot of stuff. Okay, for every farm to get a good breeding stock, your male is also as important as the female. But the male, I cannot say that one is more important than the other, because if you have a good male that gives you good stocks,
yes,
and an active male that gives you good stocks, and then you have a bad mother, there's a tendency that you lose all your stocks.
yes.
So the male is important, because the male is what will give you what you want in your farm.
Yes.
If you have a bigger doe, there's a tendency that, and a smaller male, there's a tendency that your rabbits look smaller. Yes, it's from experience. But if you have a bigger male, your rabbits will look bigger. But you know, the genes,
yes,
the genes will always meet up. So the genes from the mother and the father, but the genes from the male is much is more than the female.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's a very, very useful information, because sometimes for some farmers, the concentration usually is on the female. It's like, usually on the female, but the male is as important as the female. So what are the challenges you would say, okay, that is the rabbitry is currently being confronted with?
Okay. One of the major challenges farmers have is sales. They have a problem of sales, mostly because they feel that the group of people, they don't recognize the meat, or it might be their marketing skills are bad, and they have also intentionally refused to get someone that can market their products
for them.
Yes, and then also diseases. These diseases sometimes they might hit you without even with your, the diseases might hit you even with your proper management,
biosecurity.
Yes, biosecurity. But the risk of having a disease in your farm will be much reduced if your farm is clean and then well managed, and then you adhere to instructions given to you by your supervisor, and as well learn from other reputable and good farmers.
Yes.
And also give them their feed at the appropriate time. When you don't give them feed at the appropriate time, that means you've intentionally altered their digestive capabilities. That's the microflora in their guts. So it might lead to some diseases like bloat.
Yes.
Yes, sometimes some farmers will see bloat and then say it's coccidiosis and territory because of the excretion or the excrete or the feces. Because the feces will not be solid. It might be either watery or transparent, with kind of translucent, jelly translucent. So a lot, but mostly cells, good management, then diseases are the major challenges farmers are having, and then also lack of space, and then fundings, as capital, to help set up a good farm. So
that's interesting, because the issue of cell has always been almost at the peak of the challenge that most farmers are being confronted. And how should they go about it? I mean, from your own experience, to sell off their stock.
Well, to me, when I was fully into the business, I have a problem of demand being greater than supply. I had a lot of rabbits, but before you know, I need 200 rabbits, I need 100 rabbits, I need 25, I need 50.
Yes.
I used to sell then when I was fully into the business. I used to sell my rabbits virtually every week. So sometimes I won't even have the rabbits to sell. I'll have to look for a way. When some of the farmers I sold rabbits to, they will tell you, the rabbits died.
Yes.
The rabbits have not given birth now. We ate it. We could not continue. So I had this challenge of uh,
Outsourcing.
yes,
When
yes,
the demand
yes,
is
the
more.
demand is always greater than the supply. And then also when you are trying to sell off your rabbits, it also depends on the season.
Right.
Because there are seasons that rabbits are in for high demand. So but even as at then, there are still seasons that the supply is still low, the demand is low. Those are the times you are supposed to be breeding your rabbits intensively.
And what time is usually this time? This from your experience?
Okay, let's say from the first quarter of the month.
Okay.
You have demand, and then from July down, you might not necessarily have a lot of demand except someone has a special order. Yes.
Okay. So it's good for you to look at, and it's also, maybe it could also be context specific, like region specific. Is that how it is? Like, okay, maybe in Uyo, maybe this particular place. I know there's a state in the southwest that eat rabbit. They really consume rabbit a lot there.
Our brothers in the west.
In the west,
they eat a lot of rabbits. That's where the most rabbit farming of farmers are based. They're mostly Yorubas.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Down here we don't take rabbit as in what we do here is mostly poultry, but I can as well assure you that rabbit is more nutritious personally to me.
Yes,
I prefer rabbits and poultry.
So let's talk about feeding, because feeding has been one of the headache for farmers, particularly with the high cost of feed going up every day, So how do you go about it? Like, what do you feed your rabbit with?
Okay. Well, feeding my rabbits has never really been a challenge because the region I have a lot of grasses. So I combine my feed with grasses, elephant grass, legumes, leaves, bitter leaves, or fibers like watermelon peels, gari, cassava wraps, and cassava chaffs. Yes, so I use a lot of things that they can consume as herbivores to feed them. Since they are herbivores, it's much more easier for me to look for a way to feed them. They eat a lot of grasses, so you shouldn't have a challenge with feed except you are not used to going into the bush to cut grasses or there's no grass growing around your region. So feeding shouldn't be a challenge. Then I used mash feed. So they said the mash feed causes some kind of respiratory issues to them, or respiratory diseases, triggers of respiratory distress and disease and the rest of it. Or I can say it's not true because more than 90% of the feed I've been using is mash, top feed. I've been using top feed mash. Once I tried to get hold of Bella back then, I calculated the cost and the distance, and that was when I was just starting. So when I looked into all those, I decided to improvise. So you can as well reduce the cost of feeding and maximize the profits.
Yes.
So feeding shouldn't be an issue.
Okay. And what advice do you have for young people? Because the truth is that the economy is biting, and there are a lot of young people at home doing nothing, trying to make a living for themselves and looking into agriculture as another source of, maybe a source of income for them. What advice do you have for them? Is rabbitry something that they should consider?
Yes, yes. Rabbitry, it's an oil well, like I said.
Oil well.
Yes, it is. To me, it's easier
Mm,
and more profitable. It's
mm,
easier to manage,
mm,
easier to maintain, and it's easier to manage
mm.
and more and better than poultry. You don't need to spend a lot of money on drugs
Yes,
if you have a good security and management
management.
system.
Mm,
Then you don't have to spend a lot on feed. You can decide to breed your rabbits or grow your rabbits on solid grasses. But the only thing is you cannot compare a rabbit that is being grown on feed
mm.
and grasses and the one that's being grown on grasses
Alone.
mostly.
Mm,
It all depends on what you are trying to achieve while
mm.
feeding them.
Yeah.
So I'll say rabbit is cost effective. So rabbitry should be taken more into consideration
Okay.
for feed, for
Young
yeah,
people.
yeah.
For young people, I mean,
Yes,
nobody should
yes,
consider.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I
And,
encourage that we have a lot of rabbit farmers
okay.
down here in the south.
Yes. And then, do you do breeding stock only, or do you also do meat, or do you do both?
Well, I would say the main aim of having a highlight rabbit or having
Mm,
the bigger stocks are mostly for meat.
for meat. Mm.
And then, once someone sees your rabbit, he will want
To-
to buy because of the
And
size.
these
It's
rabbit
not,
are
it's
very,
not a
very big.
normal,
Yeah.
it's not a normal regular size rabbit.
Yes.
So breeding, I've taken meat production into consideration in case someone wants to buy from it.
Yes.
Then I've also taken buying and selling off, or just producing and selling off into consideration too.
Yes.
So it all depends on what you want. If you come, you say you are looking for the breeding stocks, I'll give you breeding stocks.
Okay.
If you say you want meat,
Yes.
I can give you a rabbit that I selected out that I don't want to use for breeding as meat. So if you are going to go and, if you are using that kind of rabbit for breeding, it's not, he might not serve you well.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
that's it.
Okay, cool. And if viewers want to contact you on maybe watching this video and they feel okay, they want to reach out to you to get some of your stock, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, my phone number is always available.
Yes.
So you can contact me on my phone number or
So you will put it on the
my
description.
Facebook
Yeah.
page, my Facebook profile.
Okay.
Then I can link you up with some farmers that I know have quality breeding stocks, as well as quality, as well as this quality.
Mm.
You also need to know that the prices are not.
Mm.
They are friendly. They are friendly prices, but they are not something that you can just say, I need just the rabbits.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I mean the thing I observe about rabbit is they are good stock, but at the same time the price is also friendly. So it's not as though it will shop. In fact, let me give you an example. Some of the rabbit that I have seen other farmers sell at a very exorbitant price, you will see it here, even better quality at even a better price. So Richard will put his contact and his Facebook link as well, so that you could chat him up if you are interested. So please do to like and subscribe on this channel to continue to help us grow. We just show you some of the videos and some of the breeding stock that he has. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.